Hello friends, it's me, and today we're checking out style theory, the gross truth hiding in your clothes from the style theorists. Together, let's go.
Why do you wash your clothes? If you said to clean them, oh boy, have I got some bad news for you. Hello internet, welcome to Style Theory.
Hello internet, welcome to style theory. Hi.
The only show telling you how viral fashion can turn into viral fashion. Does it ever annoy you how laundry is one of those chores that you can never quite check off the list? Unless you're doing the laundry completely naked, there's always gonna be some set of dirty clothes just waiting around to be washed. But hey, if it feels like you're always buried under last week's, or let's be honest, last month's laundry, you're...
How do you get so many clothes? I do laundry like twice, 3 times per week, so how?
not alone. The average American household washes 300 loads of laundry per year, and that's out to almost 1 per day. That's probably the reason why washing clothes always ranks in the top 5 of America's most hated household chores, right there alongside doing the dishes and cleaning the toilet. But even though we hate it, you can't really question why we have to do it. We gotta get those things clean. Those pit stains aren't really complimentary to your aesthetic. That after gym stank won't be getting any less ripe on its own, and as much as last night's spaghetti was great, I don't want to be reminded of that meal every time I suit up. In short, we just gotta get rid of the germs, sweat, dead skin cells, and other gunky stains that are ruining our fit. And hey, look on the bright side. At least we don't have to go down to the creek with a washboard and some lye. Nowadays, most people have high-powered, high-efficiency washers with all these knobs and settings, and they make this fun little ringtone sound when they're all done that makes you believe for like 2.5 seconds that laundry could be fun. So overall, laundry, while certainly a tedious slog, is at least helping to keep our clothes cleaner, healthier, and brighter longer, is what I'd be saying to you if I was lying to your face. You see, our current way of doing laundry sucks. Not only are modern washers not getting your clothes cleaner, they may actually be leaving your clothes in a worse condition than when you dumped them in the first place. We were better at doing our laundry in the dark ages than we are today. So, good news, bad news with this episode, friendos. Bad news, your quote-unquote clean clothes are filthy, disgusting, and you'll never feel sanitary again. Good news, this episode may just be the excuse you're looking for to skip a laundry day altogether. So grab your washboards, friendos. I'm here to tell you the truth. Your laundry is one big conspiracy. Let's start by discussing what happens right after you've crammed the wash full of dirty underwear. You see, before our clothes can even see the super sudsing action they so desperately need, we have to choose how to wash them. While every model of washer is different, you'll usually see things like normal, delicate, heavy duty, pretty easy to understand. But then there's also more obscure terms like perm press, rinse and spin, which aren't all the cycles rinsing and spinning the clothes. And for me, the endlessly confusing option of hand wash, which is like, hey, you're a machine, you have no hands. How dare you lie to me? So you pick the setting that best matches what the tag on your clothing says, you load in the soap, and from there your laundry machine gets to work, agitating those clothes, water, and soap together. Agitation is specifically an irregular, erratic movement rather than something rhythmic. This forces your clothes to rub against themselves and all their other friends in the wash to scrub out the stains. With front-loading washers, you are literally knocking the stains out of your clothes by smacking them along the bottom of the drum as they tumble around. This physical beating, though, can only do so much, which is why we also mix in detergents. Detergents make use of surfactants, which we talked about extensively in our Should You Wash Your Legs episode. Basically, these little molecules have a polar and a non-polar end, or another way of saying that is that they have a watery end and an oily end. And the watery end sticks to other water, and the oily end sticks to other oil. In the case of your clothes, oil has built up as sweat in the fibers, as dirt in the stains, or in other places like dead skin cells. So when the oily end of the detergent washes over them, the detergent sticks to the oil on your clothing and lifts it out of the fibers. The watery end then gets picked up by the water swirling around, and all that dirt and grime are carried away down the drain. That's not all. Many detergents and laundry sprays are also loaded with enzymes to help break down the stains that have a more complex chemical structure and are thus harder to remove from the fabric. So with all these fancy surfactants and enzymes showing off their stain-fighting power, the only thing we have left to ask is, how are they doing? The answer is, not as well as you'd hope. Let's start by looking at the first thing that you'd be hoping to get out of the whole laundry process. You know, clean clothes. Well, detergents can do a lot to make your clothes look clean by removing the appearance of dirt and stains. You know the one thing they're not built to do? Actually cleaning your clothes. As in, removing all the bacteria, germs, and viruses that you can't see on them. According to Tide.com, the website home for everyone's favorite detergent snack pod, there are 3 different levels of cleaning your laundry: deep cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting. Generally, sanitizers reduce the number of certain bacteria by up drop to 99.9%, while disinfectants kill bacteria and other germs like viruses. And by law, any products that brand themselves as sanitizers or disinfectors are going to be regulated by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Deep cleaning, meanwhile, is everything we just talked about. Detergent plus water plus agitation. And right there on the website, boom! Deep cleaning does not kill germs.
Okay, why? Why? I mean, we can just use sunlight, can't we all? Sunlight, it works.
It's not a theory, that is a fact. Oh, sure, they're removing surface stains, bad odors, oily dirt, but all that invisible stuff in there, the stuff that really gets you sick, nothing. Tide Pod used Deep Clean, it had no effect. Most of the detergents that you're using to clean your clothes aren't actually doing the thing that you want them to do, clean your clothes, so they're not covered in bacteria, germs, and viruses. And to be fair, they're not really designed to. It's just that no one ever really makes it a point to make that knowledge clear. Making matters worse, though, is the water. Between the need to keep our colors bright while also moving the world towards a cleaner, more energy-efficient future, most washing machines in the US, Europe, and East Asia tend to run clothing cycles using cold settings. In fact, Tide back in 2021 had this whole big campaign about how they wanted people to do 3 out of 4 loads of laundry a week explicitly on cold settings.
Iced tea, stone cold, calling on everyone to turn to cold washing.
There's also been an increase in settings like eco-warm, with water sitting just above 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius, the temperature of a warm, pleasant bathtub. While these temperatures can certainly help remove many stains, they're doing nothing to, again, actually clean the clothes. To kill germs, clothes have to be washed at a temperature minimum of 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius, which is something that only 5% of American loads are doing. That's right, 95% of the laundry that's done in America is coming out with germs still on it. Not just because the detergent is lacking, but also because the water temperatures we're using are too low to kill off any bacteria living inside. And we, the innocent consumer, are left walking around in our own filthy, filthy ignorance.
I don't understand. Like, isn't it common sense that after the clothes come out of the washing machine, you dry it out with sun? Isn't that common sense? Huh?
So consider this. You throw your dirty underwear in with your regular load of laundry. Totally fine, it's a normal thing to do. Except no matter how clean you might be, studies have shown that the average person has about 1/10 of a gram of fecal residue in their underwear. And poop contains all sorts of bacteria, viruses, and germs. Because your typical detergent isn't designed to kill those invisible little microbes, and because 95% of laundry loads done in modern washers are being done on cooler settings, now those dirty undies are just floating around there with the rest of the clothes in one dirty little soup. Spoiler alert! Or I suppose I should say, soiler alert! That one germy item has now spread little flecks of poop to everything else in that drum. And that's not just coming from me. According to studies done by the University of Arizona, one germy item in the washer can spread to 90% of the other items in there. In another study, this one done back in 2015, they found that not only was bacteria passed around between articles of clothing during the wash, bacteria was also present in the washer itself because, you know, it's a dark, wet space that never really truly gets dry. The perfect place for bacteria to thrive. And like, maybe that's okay if you're washing your own poopy pants, but what about your roommate's stuff? Or when you mix in underwear with your pajamas? Or worse, your bedding? How about if someone in the house is sick? Pajamas from when you had the flu that one time, or that gross bathrobe that helped you to survive when your entire family had COVID or something awful. Those are the times that you want to know that you really cleaned your clothes. But our efforts to modernize laundry have unfortunately backfired, and our fancy detergents have contributed to how blissfully ignorant we've been to this the entire time.
Why wouldn't you turn to cold?
Probably because I don't want to be sleeping wrapped in my old fecal matter. Thanks for the advice though, Ice-T. The ironic—
Good point. I'm like, this blissful ignorance MacPad that I mentioned. Okay, I get what you're trying to say, MacPad. Thank you so much. Thank you.
part of all of this is that we were better at laundry 200 years ago than we are today with all our modern scientific advances. Back then, many cities across Europe developed communal wash houses called lavoirs, large stone or wooden tubs that held water, where women would go and gather to do their laundry together. At that time, it wasn't uncommon for large copper pots of water to be boiling nearby, as people began discovering the effectiveness of hot water in softening the grip of stains on fabric fibers, thereby making its removal that much easier. And because that water was boiling, it meant that temperatures were around 212 112 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius, well over what it takes to sanitize clothing in a way that modern laundry practices don't even come close to. And for a long time, using boiling water was just the commonplace practice, like we see here with this old illustration from the Civil War. And while you might initially think that the dryer then is the place where our clothes are getting hot enough to kill germs, think again. On average, most modern dryers are working at around 125 to 135 degrees Fahrenheit, or 51 to 57 Celsius. And with energy-efficient low-heat settings now being the default for many dryers, many cycles aren't even getting that high. This is something that, again, creates a problem when you consider that you want temperatures to be around 150 degrees Fahrenheit, or 65.5 degrees Celsius, to be sure that you're killing off any of those invisible microbes living in your knickers. Okay, so our clothes might not be getting as clean as we think they are, but at least they look nice, right? Well, yes, but again, even this is a big lie. See, there's a lot more to your laundry detergent than just soap. This stuff actually contains a magic trick, an optical illusion. Have you ever noticed how most laundry detergents tend to be blue? It's a marketing gimmick, right? We associate blue with clean stuff. That's why it feels like it has to be cleaner than regular soap because it's so saturated. And like blue toothpaste or blue toilet bowl cleaners, it has to be clean. Well, it's true, but that's just part of our story. You see, housed within that almost fluorescent blue laundry goo is some pretty tricky science. Science that's meant to make your clothes look like they're getting cleaner than they actually are. You see, detergents like our bright blue Tide here contain optical brighteners, also known as fluorescent whitening agents, which are added chemicals that work to make your clothes appear brighter and whiter than they really are. An optical brightener is any chemical that works by absorbing UV light and then emitting back visible blue light. This process tricks your eyes into thinking that your clothes are whiter and brighter than they are by giving them a bright, sometimes slightly bluish tint. And because of that, this is a practice called laundry bluing. Don't believe me? Well, the easiest way to find out if your detergent has optical brighteners in it is by taking a cap full of the stuff and then exposing it to any UV light, like a black light or one of those handheld UV lights for disinfecting your phone. Put it under the light, and I bet that your laundry detergent's gonna glow like it's going to a rave in Area 51. If it does, you'll know that your eyes are being fooled every time you wash your shirts and sheets. So are optical brighteners bad? Well, it depends. The truth is that laundry bluing isn't a new fancy practice designed to trick modern consumers into thinking they have clean clothes. This is actually something that's been done for well over 100 years. Back then, they were just basically blue dyes you could soak your laundry in. It was still the same premise though, that you could use blue pigments to offset the yellowy colors that made clothes look and feel dingy after excessive washing. Laundry blues used to be sold in what looked to be soda or medicine bottles, and if you dumped a little too much into the bucket with the laundry, your nice white bloomers would suddenly come out looking like a Smurf massacre. It was time-consuming and unwieldy for people to blue their own laundry, so when it was first incorporated into detergents, it was designed to save people a step in something they were doing anyway.
Oh, so technically speaking, your bloomers will become bloomers. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Time, we've shifted focus to having as few steps as possible in the process. Frankly, most of us have no idea about laundry bluing or its origins. That said, once you see it, you're gonna start to see this everywhere, because laundry isn't the only place where we find optical brighteners at work. If you have either real or colored blonde hair, you might be familiar with products called purple shampoos. These shampoos have the same kind of incredibly appealing colors and, wouldn't you know it, also have the same optical brighteners to trick the eye into perceiving your hair as blonder than it would be otherwise. So, your laundry is dirty and detergents are tricking your eyes in an attempt to make your clothes look cleaner than they actually are. What can you do? Well, there are a few options here. The first is that you can spend even more money to do the laundry. In 2020, the market for laundry sanitizers, products which, as the name suggests, is added to your normal wash to sanitize it, was estimated at $34.1 million as people rushed out to buy products that would lower their risk of getting COVID. Living in a more virus-conscious society now, the market for these is expected to grow to $44.5 million by 2028. Not bad for a product that's intended to clean your already quote-unquote clean clothes. Another option here is to be a little less eco-friendly on your clothes and wash some things in actual hot water. You won't always have the option to do this with things like delicates or darks, but for your gym socks, you'll know that you're not spreading athlete's foot to your pillowcases. The third option, though, might just be our best. There is a free option here that can make your clothes whiter while also killing bacteria. Sounds good, right? What is this miracle product? Well, get ready for it. It's groundbreaking. It's the sun. That's right. One of the best solutions, if you have it available to you, is to expose your laundry right out of the washing machine to the sun. Well, sure, a lot of us have dryers available. There are two main advantages to exposing your clothes to UV radiation in the form of sunlight. First, UV radiation can bleach your fabrics. You know this if you've ever seen curtains or a dark sofa exposed to direct sunlight over a period of time. Totally changes the color. Well, when you put stains or discolored clothing under sunlight, it does the exact same thing. It's gonna actually slightly erode the pigments on the surface of the fabric, including stains and discolored areas. On top of that, UV UV light directly damages and kills almost all types of bacteria and viruses that might be living on your fabrics. This is one of the reasons why it's so much harder to spread viruses like COVID outdoors. Sustained exposure to UV light kills viruses. In the time that it takes your clothes to dry outdoors on a sunny day, you've solved all the problems left behind by your washing machine. Now, is it a perfect solution? Of course not. Some of us live in cities where it rains a lot, or we need to do like 6 loads of kids' laundry and there's no time or space to spread clothes around outside. It's totally fine. But now at least
Yeah, especially with the current housing landscape in which the place that you hang your laundry, it's getting smaller and smaller in Singapore. So yeah, kind of hard to hang your laundry, especially when you don't have that amount of space. Like from here,
you know that you have options, and you can pick whichever one is right for you. And at the end of the day, no matter what, your laundry and your health will thank you. But hey, if you thought laundry bluing was some sort of crazy science hack in your brain, then let me introduce you to our sponsor for today's episode, Air Up. Stand aside, all you detergents trying to use science to trick us into thinking our clothing is healthier than it actually is. Air Up is here and using science for real good, getting us to drink more water. Air Up uses scent rings that are placed around the top of your water bottle to trick your brain into thinking it's drinking something flavored, when in reality you're just getting a big gulp of good old H2. Oh yeah! Because taste is just as much about what you smell as what's actually hitting your tongue, you think that you're getting a delicious berry or watermelon flavor, when in actuality it's just water. You simply pop on one of their signature flavor pods, you pull it up to activate the airflow, and then you lose yourself in one of their huge variety of flavors. Historically, I've been drawn to the wild berry, but lemon, basil, and lime have both been awesome to switch it up with. And no joke, I drink more water now than I have ever in my life. In fact, I love this thing so much that I've gotten everyone on Team Theorist hooked on Air Up as well. My efforts actually went a little bit too well, and now we have to be really careful around the office to not accidentally grab someone else's bottle, because all of us actually picked the sleek black design. Everyone except for Amy, who got the memo that Air Up comes in a huge range of amazing colors and got herself one of the eye-catching oranges. Truly the hydration icon we do not deserve. And you know what they say, friends that sip together stay together. And you can get in on all the flavor-filled hydration by clicking the link in the top line of the description to get your own Air Up bottle and flavor pods today. Thanks again to Air Up for sponsoring today's episode, and until next time, remember, it's all just a theory. A style theory. Keep looking sharp.
thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you find this video quite interesting to watch. A lot of quite unique and interesting fact, like the fact that we are all just blissfully ignorant about such things. So thank you so much, my pet. Thank you. And what is the comment section saying about this video? Guys, MadPat is running 5 channels and MadPat is running 5 channels but is still able to tell us to do our laundry better. Lucky for my family, our washers has a sanitized heat setting. Okay, cool. A warning for those prone to OCD or obsessive thoughts. Ignore this video. In all your years living without this knowledge, you have been just fine wearing your clothes, washing and drying on the default setting. Don't let that scare you into changing your habits to the detriment of your mental health. But it's just facts. He's stating facts that, hey, sunlight, have you tried that? Sunlight on your clothes? Alright, gosh, here I thought my habit, which I got from my parents and grandparents to dry my clothes out in the sun, was just some bogus, which I should have stopped ages ago. Glad it actually does something for my health. Matt actually made clothes sounds interesting. What is my life? Well, anyways, I hope you find this video quite interesting to watch, but hey, that's just a theory. A style theory. Keep looking sharp. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much once again. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have channel us. Don't forget to follow my channel and hope to ring the notification bell. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much.